Hi, I'm Natalie and welcome to Teach Your Own. To Teach Your Own is a vlog that's dedicated to encouraging families of color to consider homeschooling. We are a homeschool family and have been for about 4 years now. This series is called Homeschooling Pros. And Homeschooling Pros is not because we're veterans, but Homeschooling Pros because these are the benefits that we feel our family has received from homeschooling. Our first Homeschooling Pro is life practice. We decided to homeschool partially because of our family structure. We are a military family. We get up and go frequently. We have long breaks where we maybe don't see each other, and we were concerned about our children having a consistent and a thorough education. And so for us, we decided to make schooling and education a part of our life. It's a thread woven into our day. It's not something that we send our children to, and we found that to be one of the greatest benefits of homeschooling. One of the parts of life practice that we found the most helpful was time management. In regards to time management, we found that as my husband and I are adults, it's something that we struggle with. We were so accustomed to going to school from 8 to 4, only learning then and then coming home to do everything else. And what we wanted for our children was that we wanted them to organize their life around a constant education, always learning, and having learning be a part of their everyday life that isn't necessarily isolated in a separate building, but can be done at home. So in terms of life practice, we want our children to be practicing the life that we want them to lead later on. We want them to be self-managed and to know how to take care of themselves. And so when we are homeschooling our children, one of the benefits is we wake up on our own time and we are basically on our own time. I kind of call homeschooling a little bit of entrepreneurship. We want our children to have that mindset that they run their day and they're not told when and where to get up and go places, but they run their day and they manage their time. We start our time management instruction with our children by talking about priorities. For our family as a family of faith, one of our priorities is prayer and the study of the Word. So for our family, one of the first things we do as a homeschooler is when we wake up at 7, 8, or whenever that day allows for us to wake up, we start our day with prayer. We start our day just focused on what's important to our family. For some families who homeschool, secular families that homeschool, that may include a story time or a circle time or just time together as a family. But we choose that we want our children to know that our priorities come first in our day. After we spend that morning time in prayer, we move on to the care of our home. We actually don't jump right into school. We go and we want to teach our children the discipline of taking care of their home. That means we make our beds. That means we clean up the sink and the counter. I like that being able to homeschool has given us an opportunity to build routine into the lives of our children that they will get an opportunity to live as they get older. Thirdly, our next activity in terms of time management that we want our children to have kind of built into their systems is activity and fitness and working out. So we make that a part of our morning. We go for morning walks. My oldest girl will ride her bike. My youngest now, she was in the stroller, but now she's riding her own bike and I just kind of follow along behind her. But we're given the opportunity to just make that a part of our everyday. We want children who are so accustomed to getting outside, getting fresh air, that it's just kind of a part of their day. When all of that is said and done, and after we've eaten breakfast, then we finally get down to schooling. I think that's something that I would like all parents to think about. When you think about homeschooling, you don't have to make it fit into the time frame that the school systems use right now. You work with whatever your family is inclined to do. Some families are early risers. Some families, don't start school until after 3 p.m. But depending on the nature of your children, just the nature of your routine, you can make it work for you. Especially those parents who maybe work from home or parents who work part-time. You have the freedom when you homeschool to make that life kind of work for you. The fourth part of our time management, the things we instill into our children, is once all of that is over, like I said before, once all of that is over, we sit down for school. Now, sitting down for school may not always be sitting down. Sitting down for school could be cuddling on the couch and listening to an audiobook. You'll be able to see in some of the other videos the materials that I use, and some of them are not sit down and write curriculum. They are listening to audiobooks, they are watching movies or other types of media that we use to teach our children. And so school doesn't necessarily look like people would imagine, and it doesn't have to. And that's some of the exciting part of homeschooling, is that you make it work for you. Lastly, we like to have our children know that they can learn anywhere. And they can learn from so many different experiences. Frequently, you say you're a stay-at-home mom or you say you're homeschooling, and the question is, how are you home all day with your children? And I think that stay-at-home mom is a misnomer. I think that when you actually get to be home with your children, you find that you're out, you're at libraries, parks, you're outdoors with them, and you're chasing bugs with the little ones or running away from lizards like I do for my little girl. And so those are the things, the ability to just get up and go at your convenience. And manage your time and know when it is time to work and when it is time to play. Those are some of those the fine-tuned things that I feel that I couldn't have worked as well with my children on had I kind of sent them away for school. I think the idea of homeschooling sometimes makes people uncomfortable because it's so far out of the box. It's so far out of the norm. But there are so many benefits to getting out of that box. You get an opportunity to get closer to your children and make your life work around educating your children. Well, that is all for me right now. This was our Homeschool Pro #1, life practice, building a life around educating your children. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.